Book summary by Teddy Bear's Storytime.
13 Reasons Why by J. Asher is a young adult novel that delves into the life of Hannah Baker, a high school girl who commits suicide and leaves behind a series of cassette tapes explaining the reasons why she made this tragic decision. The story is a powerful exploration of the impact of bullying, betrayal, and isolation on mental health. The novel unfolds as Clay Jensen, one of the recipients of the tapes, listens to Hannah's story and reflects on his role in her life. Asher's novel confronts difficult issues such as depression, bullying, and the responsibilities we hold toward others in society. Characters: Clay Jensen, the protagonist and one of the recipients of Hannah's tapes. He had a crush on Hannah and is devastated by her death. Hannah Baker, the central character who commits suicide and leaves behind 13 tapes explaining the reasons and people responsible for her decision. Tony, Clay's friend who knows about the tapes and acts as a guide for Clay, helping him understand Hannah's story. Justin Foley, the first person on the tapes, accused of starting harmful rumors about Hannah. Jessica Davis, a former friend of Hannah, involved in a betrayal that contributed to her isolation. Alex Standall, responsible for creating a list that objectified Hannah and worsened her bullying. Bryce Walker, a wealthy and popular student, responsible for a major act of assault against both Hannah and another girl. Tyler Down, a peeping Tom who invades Hannah's privacy. Courtney Crimson, a two-faced girl who pretends to befriend Hannah but ultimately betrays her. Zach Dempsey, a classmate who sabotages Hannah's academic efforts, contributing to her sense of worthlessness. Mr. Porter, the school counselor, who fails to give Hannah the help she needs in her final moments. Book summary. The tapes begin. Clay Jensen returns home from school to find a mysterious package on his doorstep containing cassette tapes. As he begins listening, he realizes they were recorded by Hannah Baker, a girl he had feelings for who recently committed suicide. Hannah explains that there are 13 reasons, or 13 people, responsible for her decision to end her life, and that each of them will receive the tapes in turn. Justin Foley and the rumor. The first tape is addressed to Justin Foley, the boy who gave Hannah her first kiss. While the kiss itself was innocent, Justin started a rumor that exaggerated the encounter, damaging Hannah's reputation and marking the beginning of her downward spiral. Alex Standall and the list. Hannah continues her story, revealing that Alex Standall created a hot or not list in which he objectified her by labeling her as the best body. This list fueled the harassment and bullying she would endure from her peers. Jessica Davis and betrayal. Jessica Davis, who was once a friend of Hannah's, is featured on the next tape. Jessica becomes jealous over a boy and physically assaults Hannah, blaming her for things that were not her fault. This marks the end of their friendship and another instance of betrayal. Tyler Down, the peeping Tom. Hannah accuses Tyler Down of invading her privacy by spying on her through her bedroom window. This violation of privacy makes her feel unsafe and violated in her own home. Courtney Crimson's false friendship. Courtney Crimson pretends to befriend Hannah, only to use her for personal gain and spread further rumors about her. This false friendship deepens Hannah's sense of loneliness and mistrust. Marcus Cooley and the date. Marcus Cooley takes advantage of Hannah during a date, trying to make unwanted advances. This reinforces her growing sense of worthlessness and the inability to trust anyone. Zach Dempsey's sabotage. Zach Dempsey sabotages Hannah's efforts to reach out for help by stealing her anonymous notes of encouragement from a school project. This small but cruel act deepens her sense of despair. Ryan Shaver's betrayal of trust. Ryan Shaver, a fellow student, betrays Hannah by publishing one of her deeply personal poems without her consent, making her feel exposed and ridiculed by the entire school. Clay Jensen's role. Clay is surprised to find his name on the tapes. However, Hannah makes it clear that he does not belong on the list in the same way as the others. Clay's role was simply being someone she cared about, but she pushed him away out of fear that he would hurt her, as others had. Justin Foley and Bryce Walker's assault. Justin appears again, this time for allowing his friend Bryce Walker to rape Jessica at a party while Hannah was present. This incident intensifies Hannah's feelings of guilt and helplessness. Bryce Walker's assault on Hannah. Bryce Walker himself is featured on the next tape. At a different party, Bryce rapes Hannah, which becomes one of the final reasons that push her over the edge. This act of violence leaves Hannah feeling completely broken. Mr. Porter's failure. The final tape is addressed to Mr. Porter, the school counselor. In her last attempt to seek help, Hannah goes to Mr. Porter and tells him about her depression and struggles. However, Mr. Porter dismisses her concerns and fails to provide the guidance she desperately needed. His inability to intervene becomes the last reason Hannah lists before ending her life. Themes: bullying and social isolation. The novel centers around how bullying, rumors, and social isolation can have a devastating impact on a person's mental health. Hannah is the target of various forms of bullying that gradually break her down. The ripple effect of actions, each person's actions, whether intentional or not, contribute to Hannah's decision to take her life. The novel emphasizes the interconnectedness of people's lives and the importance of recognizing the potential impact of even small actions. Guilt and responsibility. Clay, along with other characters, grapples with guilt after learning how their actions, or inaction, affected Hannah. The novel raises questions about personal responsibility and whether people could have done more to help Hannah before it was too late. Mental health and suicide. Mental health is a central theme, with Hannah's tapes illustrating her descent into despair and how she struggled to cope with the pain and loneliness she experienced. The novel sheds light on the complexity of suicide and the need for mental health awareness. The power of communication. One of the key takeaways from the novel is the importance of communication. Many of the tragedies in Hannah's life could have been mitigated if she had felt supported or had someone to talk to. Her final attempt to reach out, though thwarted, highlights how crucial it is to listen and offer help. Analysis. The novel's structure as a tool. The use of cassette tapes as the vehicle for storytelling allows the reader to experience Hannah's thoughts and emotions in a raw, unfiltered way. The alternating perspectives between Hannah and Clay add depth and tension to the narrative. The importance of empathy. The novel stresses the importance of empathy and understanding how one's actions affect others. By presenting multiple perspectives on the same events, it highlights the complexity of human interactions and the unintended consequences of actions. Complexity of blame. While Hannah lists 13 reasons, the novel avoids placing blame solely on individuals. Instead, it suggests that the buildup of negative experiences, coupled with internal struggles, led to Hannah's tragic decision. It emphasizes that mental health issues are multifaceted. Criticism of authority figures. The failure of Mr. Porter, the counselor, represents the failure of authority figures to intervene effectively in the lives of struggling teens. The novel critiques the lack of adequate support systems in schools for students dealing with mental health issues. Impact on readers. 13 Reasons Why has been a subject of debate for its portrayal of suicide. While it aims to raise awareness about bullying and its effects, some critics argue it may romanticize or simplify the issue of suicide. The novel has sparked important conversations about mental health, trauma, and the need for support. Conclusion. 13 Reasons Why is a poignant and controversial novel that tackles difficult subjects such as bullying, mental health, and the impact of our actions on others. Through Hannah Baker's tapes, readers are given a haunting insight into the factors that led to her suicide and the ways in which each person in her life played a part in her decision. Clay Jensen's journey through the tapes is one of guilt, reflection, and deep sorrow as he comes to terms with what happened to Hannah and how he could have possibly helped her. The novel's conclusion emphasizes the importance of communication, empathy, and mental health support. By the end of the story, Clay has gained a new perspective on the people around him and his responsibility toward others. This transformation is evident when he reaches out to another student who seems to be struggling, showing that while the past cannot be changed, The future holds the potential for different outcomes. 13 Reasons Why serves as both a cautionary tale and a call to action. The end. Love the book summary. Subscribe Teddy Bear's Storytime YouTube channel now. Like the video. Turn on the notifications. And leave your comments. See you in next book.